The red alert siren sounded through the halls of the ISV Challenge. Commander Ethan Collins rushed to the bridge, his heart pounding in his chest. The ship's eye picked up a distress signal coming from the Neptune Research Outpost. Status report, Ethan demanded as he sat down. Lieutenant Amy Scott looked up from the console with concern in her eyes. Sir, we are receiving an emergency transmission from Neptune Station. It's not good. Ethan watched the main screen as it came to life. The face of a terrified scientist appeared, blood running down his forehead. This is Dr. Alan Weaver from Neptune Station. We are under attack from unknown vessels. They came without warning. Our defenses are failing. Please send help immediately. The transmission went static. How long until we reach Neptune? Ethan asked. Cuatro horas en velocidade maxima, señor. Respondo, o timonero. Jose Garcia. Push engines to the limit. I want to be there in 3. The journey seemed endless. When they finally arrived, the sight that greeted them sent a shiver down Ethan's spine. The once proud research station was now a twisted wreck of metal and frozen debris. Bodies floated among the ruins, faces frozen in expressions of terror. My God, Amy whispered. There were 400 people parked here. Ethan ordered search parties to look for survivors, but found none. The Challenge's sensors detected traces of energy weapons unlike anything in Earth's arsenal. Whatever did this was far beyond human technology. In the station's partially intact control room, they recovered surveillance footage. The video showed sleek silver ships appearing without warning. There was no attempt at communication, no demands. Just immediate devastating attacks. Send this to Space Command immediately, Ethan ordered. Within hours, reports arrived from across the solar system. The Mars colony repelled a similar attack. 2 mining operations in the asteroid belt were completely destroyed. A scientific spacecraft near Saturn was missing. 3 days later, Ethan was at the United Nations Space Command headquarters in Geneva. Military leaders and government officials from around the world filled the room. Their faces are grim. Admiral Patricia Rivera addressed the assembly. At 8 a.m. today, we received a transmission. It was not directed to any of our usual communication channels. They simply invaded all of Earth's transmission systems simultaneously. The room's main screen lit up to show a strange alien being. He had light blue skin, 6 eyes arranged in a circle, and spoke through what appeared to be a translator device. People of the Earth, I am Ambassador Zixter of the Galactic Council, representing the united civilizations of this sector of the galaxy. The recent incidents in your solar system were an unfortunate misunderstanding. We request an immediate diplomatic meeting to avoid further conflicts. The room erupted in furious screams. Misunderstanding. General Frank Daniels banged his fist on the table. They murdered almost 1,000 of our people. Ethan studied the alien on the screen. Something about the way he spoke seemed off. Not exactly lying, but certainly not telling the whole truth. Dr. Kate Lewis, the UN's chief scientific advisor, stood up. We have no choice but to meet with them. We know nothing about its capabilities. The attack on Neptune shows that they have technology far beyond ours. So let's roll. Someone shot. Admiral Rivero raised her hand for silence. We will face them, but we will do so with caution. Commander Collins, your ship was the first to arrive at Neptune. I want you to join our diplomatic team. A week later, the Challenge approached an enormous alien station that appeared in orbit around Jupiter. Beside Ethan was Dr. Allison Wright, Earth's foremost expert in theoretical xenolinguistics. There, he asked her. Allison gripped the railing tightly. In truth, but humanity needs answers. And someone has to look these aliens in their 6 eyes and ask why they killed our people. As the ship departed for the alien station, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that humanity was about to learn some hard truths about their place in the galaxy, and he suspected that none of them would like what they were about to hear. The alien station was bigger than anything humans had ever built. Dr. Allison Wright stepped off the ship with Commander Ethan Collins by her side. 6 different alien species awaited them, each one stranger than the last. The leader, Ambassador Zigstar, advanced on 3 leg-like tentacles. Welcome, representatives of Earth, said Zigstar. His translator made his voice sound flat and cold. We are pleased that you have accepted our invitation. This is not a social visit, said Allison, his voice company. You attacked our outposts without warning. We lost almost 1,000 people. The ambassador's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. A truly sad development. but you must understand that its rapid expansion concerns several board members. A large reptilian alien stepped forward. Its red scales glowed under the station lights. I'm Drocax from Fraction Imperium. Your solar system borders our claimed territory. Their ships and stations appeared without permission. Ethan clenched his fists. We didn't know anyone had claimed space next to our system. You could have contacted us. Vraxian security protocols are thorough, Zigstar said. But now we can move on. Please follow me to the meeting room. The room they entered had a huge window showing the swirling clouds of Jupiter. The Earth team sat on one side of a long table, the aliens on the other. For hours, they talked about the attack. The Council admitted that its ships fired first, but offered only a small payment for the lives lost. When Allison pressed for more, Drocax leaned forward. You should be grateful for our offer. Many younger species receive nothing. Youngest species, Zigstar gestured with a tentacle. The Council has existed for 12,000 years. Earth is very new to space travel. This brings us to our proposal. A hologram appeared above the table showing Earth's solar system. We offer Earth protection status. Zigstar continued. You will be allowed to continue development in your solar system under our guidance. Allison frowned. And beyond our system. It's not allowed, Drocax said sharply. Not until you reach an appropriate level of civilization. And who decides what is appropriate? Ethan asked. The Council, of course, replied Zigstar. As if the answer were obvious. Allison felt her anger rise, but she kept her face calm. What they offered was not protection, it was a cage. We will need time to discuss this with our leaders. Of course, Zigstar said. You have 1 Earth month to accept our terms. Back on the bus, Ethan punched the wall. They are treating us like children who need supervision. Allison looked at the dwindling alien station behind them. They think we are primitive. This gives us an advantage. What do you mean? They don't respect us. They won't wait for us to fight back. When they return to Earth, the United Nations has called an emergency meeting. Allison and Ethan reported what they learned. The room became tense as people realized what the alien terms meant. They knew they were going to contain us, said Admiral Rivera. Keep us trapped in our own solar system. President Bill Howard rubbed his forehead. What options do we have? Their technology is far beyond ours. Maybe not as much as they think, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Admiral Gregory Parker entering the room. He rarely left his post at the Rocky Mountain Underground facility. Mr. President, 5 years ago you authorized the Prometheus project. I think it's time for all leadership to know what we're working on. Parker placed a small device on the table. He projected images of weapons and ships unlike anything in Earth's known arsenal. While the public space program builds colonies, we develop technologies based on theoretical physics. So learning about our progress would surprise even the Council. Allison leaned forward. Are you saying we can fight? Parker's eyes were hard. I'm saying we have options. But first, we need more information about what we're facing. So what do we do now? Ask Evan. President Howard looked around the room. We save time. Dr. Wright returned to the Council. Tell them we're interested, but we need to work out some details. In the meantime, Admiral Parker will brief us on this. Options. When the meeting ended, Allison caught Ethan's attention. They both knew that no matter what Earth decided, nothing would ever be the same again. Deep in the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Gregory Parker walked the secret corridors of Project Prometheus. The facility was built into the mountain itself, protected from prying eyes. Both on Earth and now, it appeared from space. Dr. Mitchell, show me the latest test results. Parker said as he entered the main lab. Dr. Lauren Mitchell looked up from her computer. Her red hair was tied up in a messy ponytail, dark circles under her eyes showing that she hadn't slept much. Admiral, I think we got it. She pulled up a video on the main screen. It showed a small silver device in a test chamber. When activated, the device created a rotating black and purple energy field. A test drone flew into the field and disappeared. Is that what I think it is? Parker asked. Lauren nodded. Dark energy manipulation. We can create pockets of dimensional warp space. The drone didn't just disappear. He moved to another location instantly. Can we use it for ships? In theory, yes. We can make our ships appear anywhere in the galaxy without using normal space travel. Parker smiled. And weapons applications. Lauren pressed another button. The video changed to show a similar device firing a beam of dark energy at a target. The target did not explode. It simply ceased to exist. The beam of dark energy pulls matter into warped space. Nothing in our tests could block it, she explained. Parker was about to respond when the door opened. Major Ryan Kelly entered holding a datapad. His face was grim. "Sir, you need to see this," Kelly said. He was the head of intelligence operations for Project Prometheus. The screen changed to show intercepted communications from the Alien Council. Kelly found a way to hack into their systems by reverse engineering technology from a crashed alien probe found years ago, an event kept secret from the public. They had been watching us for decades, Kelly explained. The Vraxians weren't just close to our system. They have planned to contain the development of the Earth. The data showed previous council meetings where the aliens discussed humanity's potential. They feared how quickly humans advanced and adapted. There's more, Kelly continued. The Vraxians have already done this with at least 3 other species. They attack. Then the council intervenes with protection that keeps the new species weak and dependent. Parker's face hardened. So this wasn't a misunderstanding. No, sir. And see this. Kelly showed images of planets where other young species lived under the council's rule. They were limited to their domestic systems, received only approved technology, and essentially turned into client states. Lauren studied the images in horror. They are being cultivated for resources and labor. Exactly, said Kelly. The board keeps them advanced enough to be useful, but never allows them to turn into real competition. Parker went to the window overlooking the main hangar. Below, engineers worked on new ships designed with dark energy technology. They looked nothing like normal human vessels. They were sleek, black, and built to be invisible to conventional sensors. How many ships can we have ready in 6 months? Parker asked. Lauren fought for a moment. With the help of the lunar factory, maybe 30. Not enough to wage war against the entire council. We don't need to fight them all at once, Kelly said. Your communications and defenses systems have vulnerabilities. If we attack key points simultaneously, we could paralyze their command structure. Parker nodded slowly. We need to present this to the President and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But we also need to make the board think we are still considering their offer. Dr. Wright is scheduled to return to the alien station next week. Kelly reminded him. Well, it gives us time while we prepare. Parker looked at the ships again. The council thinks we're just primitive humans who should be grateful for their protection. Let's show them exactly how wrong they are. Lauren's computer beeped with an alert. New shield technology testing is beginning. Want to see what happens when we turn their energy weapons against them? Parker smiled grimly. More than anything. On the other side of the moon, hidden from both terrestrial and alien eyes, Captain Sam Martinez watched his pilots training. The simulators hummed as 20 men and women flew virtual missions against council ships. Major Kelly provided detailed information about the capabilities of the alien ships, and the simulators were programmed to exactly match them. They are improving, said his second-in-command, Lisa Chun. Sam nodded. But are they good enough? We only have one chance at this. The moon base has changed dramatically over the past 3 months. What was once a small research station was now an important industrial center. The official story was that it was building new mining ships. The truth was very different. Deep within the facility, engineers have assembled stealth ships equipped with dark energy weapons. The ships were small, fast, and almost invisible to sensors. Each could carry only 4 crew, but their power was enormous. Captain, Admiral Parker is on the line with you, said a young lieutenant. Sam entered his office and activated the secure channel. Parker's face appeared on the screen. Progress report, Captain Parker said. Training is going well, sir. Drivers are scoring more points every day in simulations. The new ships are performing beyond expectations in lunar gravity tests. Parker looked pleased. Good. Dr. Mitchell has finished the shield upgrades. We are installing them on all vessels now. The new shields could absorb energy from enemy weapons and redirect it. In testing, they proved to be nearly unbreakable against the types of weapons used by the Council. What about our timelines, sir? SM asked. Dr. Wright is keeping the Council busy with diplomatic negotiations. They are getting impatient, but they still think we are just stalling out of fear or indecision. Parker responded. We have maybe 2 more months before they demand a response. After the call ended, Sam went to the observation deck. Through the reinforced glass, he could see the shipyard. 25 black vessels were almost completed. They looked predatory, elegant, and dangerous. Meanwhile, on Mars, General Olivia Grant oversaw the construction of a backup command center. If Earth were the target of a Council attack, Military leadership would continue from Mars. Olivia studied the defense plans with her team. We need to distribute our forces appropriately. If we send too many ships to a certain location, we risk leaving others vulnerable. His aide, Ben Cooper, pointed to a holographic map. The intelligence team identified these 6 locations as the Council's main communication hubs. If we can hit them all at once, we can blind their response. Olivia nodded. And your defense network? Major Kelly says there's a central control point here. Ben pointed to a station near a red dwarf star. Your overconfidence is your weakness. They never expected anyone to reach this far into their network. Back on Earth, President Howard met with his closest advisors. The weight of humanity's future rested on his shoulders. Are we doing the right thing? He asked softly. We are planning a surprise attack against a coalition that has technically offered us peace terms. Admiral Rivera's expression was hard. Peace on your terms means the end of human independence. We have seen what happens to species that accept the Council's protection. Is this the future you want for Earth? The president sighed. No, but I worry about the cost. Either way, there will be a cost, Rivera responded. At least this way. We choose our path. On the alien station, Dr. Allison Wright sat across from Ambassador Zixter. This was their 5th meeting in 3 months. Each time, she asked for clarification, suggested small changes to the terms, requested more time. The board's patience is not unlimited, Dr. Wright said. Zixter. His 6 eyes blinked in obvious annoyance. It's not even ours. Allison replied coldly. Its terms would change our entire civilization. Surely you understand that we must be thorough in our consideration. As she spoke, her small device hidden in her pocket continued to copy alien data from the station's systems. Each meeting provided more valuable information for Earth's next attack. Drokax, the Vraxian representative, hissed. I think humans are biding their time. Perhaps another demonstration of our power would help them decide. Allison felt a shiver, but kept her face calm. Threats won't help, Counselor. Terra is considering your offer in good faith. For now, the lie would continue. But time was running out. 6 months have passed since the first meeting with the board. Allison Wright participated in another negotiation session on the alien station. The atmosphere had changed. The aliens no longer hid their frustration. Dr. Wright, this delay cannot continue, Zixter said. Its tentacles moved in choppy patterns. The Council demands Earth's response. Allison kept her face neutral. As I explained, our world has many nations with different opinions. Building consensus takes time. Drokax slammed his scaled fist on the table. Enough. My sources report unusual energy readings near your Saturn. What are you hiding? Allison's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. I am not aware of any special projects near Saturn. Maybe it's one of our mission's research Gullers. We should send ships to investigate, Drokax told the other council members. Humans are not trustworthy. Zixter raised a tentacle asking for silence. We will give Earth a final extension, another 30 days to accept our terms. After that, we will take matters into our own hands. When the meeting ended, Allison ran back to her ship. Once safely inside, she sent an encrypted message to Earth. Suspicious advice, compromised schedule. Near Saturn, the challenge of the ISV, now adapted with new technologies, had in fact come to a close. Commander Ethan Collins observed the alien patrol ship on his screen. They almost detected us, said Lieutenant Amy Scott. The dark energy weapon test created a larger signature than we expected. Ethan nodded grimly. Shut down all non-essential systems. Let's drift until they leave the area. The alien ship circled for hours before finally bouncing away. Ethan immediately contacted Admiral Parker. Sir, we were almost discovered. The Council is getting suspicious. Parker's face on the screen looked worried. Queo perdo você esta de concluir as calabrecos das armas? We need another week, sir. You may not have that. Dr. Wright has just reported that the board is losing patience. We need to accelerate our schedule. Back on Earth, world leaders met in an emergency session. President Howard looked at the faces around him. The time for decision has come, he said. Admiral Parker, what is our readiness status? Parker stood up. Our fleet is 80% complete. Not ideal, but enough to execute our plan. The Mars Command Center is fully operational. Our information on the board's weaknesses is solid. What if we wait? Asked a European leader. So we risked the Council finding out about our preparations, Parker replied. They already suspect something close to Saturn. If they find one of our ships with the new technology, we will lose the advantage of surprise. The room fell silent as everyone considered the enormous risk. There is something else you should know, Major Kelly said, stepping forward. He placed a data device on the table. We intercepted this communication from the Council yesterday. The translation appeared on screens throughout the room. It was a message from Trocax to the Vraxian fleet. Prepare for possible containment action against Earth. Free weapons permit requested. The mood in the room changed instantly. They are preparing to attack us again, President Howard said calmly. Admiral Rivera nodded. It seems their patience has limits after all, so we have no choice. Howard decided. We move forward with our plan now. Within hours, orders were sent to all secret installations. On the moon, Captain Sam Martinez gathered his pilots. This is not a drill, he told them. Operation Sunrise begins in 72 hours. On Mars, General Olivia Grant activated the Reserve Command Center and began final preparations. Dr. Mitchell worked frantically to complete the final shield upgrades on the remaining ships. We're getting close, she told the team. But we'll make it. Admiral Parker sent a final message to Dr. Wright. Accept all terms. Request a formal signing ceremony attended by the entire board. When Allison received the message, she understood immediately. Talking time is over. At the next meeting, she smiled at the council representatives. I am pleased to report that Earth has made a decision. She said, we accept your terms and request a formal ceremony to sign the agreement. The aliens seemed surprised by the sudden change, but pleased. Excellent, said ZXVAR. Let's organize a big ceremony. All our council representatives will be present to witness this historic moment. Drokax narrowed his yellow eyes. Why the sudden change of heart? Allison smiled. We finally recognized the wisdom of your offer. It was the biggest lie she ever told. The news quickly spread across the galaxy. Earth has agreed to accept protected status under the Galactic Council. A formal ceremony was planned at Jupiter Station in 3 days. Council representatives from all 27 species would participate in this historic event. On Earth, the public story was very different from the truth. News channels reported that humanity had negotiated better terms. Government officials spoke of a new era of peaceful cooperation. Only a few knew what was really about to happen. In the hidden shipyard on the moon, Captain Sam Martinez addressed his pilots. They stood in front of their sleek, black vessels, faces serious and determined. Each of you has a specific target, Sam said. You studied them for months. You know the objectives of your mission. Once we start, there is no going back. Lisa Chen asked the question that was on everyone's mind. What about civilian casualties? Absolutely not. Sam replied firmly. We only attack military targets. Communication centers, defense stations, command centers. We are not killers. Lieutenant Joe Garcia looked at his ship. Will double-space jumps work as planned? No one has ever tried to jump so many ships over such distances. Dr. Mitchell triple-checked the calculations. Sam assured him, dark energy fields will take us exactly where we need to go. Deep in the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Parker met with Dr. Mitchell for the final review. Armor systems are at full capacity, she reported. The power redirection capability has been successfully tested under combat conditions. And the dimensional warp space generators. Lauren pulled up a hologram showing 30 black dots around the Earth. All ships are equipped and synchronized. They can simultaneously jump to the coordinates assigned to their command. Parker studied the tactical display that showed his targets throughout the council space. The element of surprise is everything. If even one ship is detected early, the entire operation could fail. The board has no defense against what they don't know exists. Lauren reminded him. They don't believe we have this technology. On Mars, General Olivia Grant went through final communications protocols with her team. If Earth's command was compromised, she would take control of the operation. All channels are secure, Mom, Ben Cooper reported. We have backup systems ready in case they try to jam our signals. Olivia looked at the red Martian landscape outside her window. It's strange to think that tomorrow the fate of 2 planets will be decided. At Jupiter Station, preparations for the ceremony were almost complete. Council ships arrived from across the galaxy, carrying dignitaries eager to witness Earth's formal acceptance of their terms. Allison Wright watched them from her quarters at the station. His little device continued collecting data on each new arrival. The information was immediately sent to Earth via a secure channel hidden in normal static communication. Ambassador Zix visited her that night. Dr. Wright, tomorrow is an important day for your species. The Council's protection will guide Earth into a bright future. Allison smiled politely. We are looking forward to it. I'm curious, though, will Drogax be present? He seems skeptical about our sudden acceptance. The Vraxian delegation arrives in the morning. Sixthar answered. All council members will witness this historic occasion. After he left, Allison sent her mother final message for Earth. All targets confirmed. The ceremony begins at 9 a.m. station time. In the White House Situation Room, President Howard received the message. He turned to Admiral Rivera and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Is there any way back from this decision? He asked softly. Rivera shook his head. No more, sir. Our ships are in position. The Council expects us to sign the agreement tomorrow. If we give up now, they'll know we were planning something. Howard closed his eyes briefly. When he opened them, his determination was clear. Then send the execution order. Operation Sunrise begins at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. The order was sent to all commands. On the Moon, Captain Martinez told his pilots to prepare for launch. On Mars, General Grant activated full alert. Below the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Parker began the final countdown. The message reached Commander Ethan Collins in Defiance, now hidden in the shadow of Jupiter's largest moon. Understood, he replied. We are ready. All over Earth, people went about their lives, unaware that tomorrow, humanity's place in the galaxy would change forever. The Grand Hall of Ceremonies at Jupiter Station glittered with alien decorations. Representatives of all 27 council species filled the room. In the center, there was a large table where the Earth would signal its future. Dr. Allison Wright entered wearing formal diplomatic attire. Ambassador Zixstar greeted her warmly with tentacles raised in a gesture of respect from the Council. Today marks a new chapter for humanity, he said. Actually, it's true, Allison replied, checking her watch. It was 8:25 a.m., 5 minutes until the start of Operation Sunrise. On the other side of the moon, 30 black ships started their engines. Captain Sam Martinez looked at his crew. Remember your training. Remember why we fight. For the Earth, for our future, for all species that deserve freedom. At exactly 8:30 a.m., Admiral Parker gave command from his station under the Rocky Mountains. Execute Operation Sunrise. At that instant, 30 ships activated their dark energy generators. The very fabric of space seemed to curve around them. Then, in flashes of black and purple light, they disappeared. All across Council space, human ships simultaneously appeared at carefully chosen targets. Defense stations, communications centers, military shipyards, and command centers suddenly found stealth vessels in their midst. At an important Council defense station, alarms sounded when sensors detected an unknown ship. Before the station commander could react, the human ship fired. Your dark energy weapon didn't destroy the station. It simply disabled all weapons and communication systems. Similar scenes occurred in dozens of locations. Within minutes, the military council structure was in chaos. Their ships were unable to communicate. Their defense systems were offline, and strange human ships were appearing everywhere. Back at Jupiter Station, the ceremony was about to begin when all the lights flickered. The station's artificial gravity wavered momentarily. Drogax growled. What is happening? A council aide ran into the hallway. We've lost contact with Central Command. Several facilities are reporting attacks from unknown vessels. Confusion broke out in the hallway. Allison calmly took a small device out of her pocket and pressed a button. A pulse of energy spread through the room, disabling all of the council's weapons and communications. What have you done? Zixthar's 6 eyes widened in shock. The large screen at the front of the hall came to life. Admiral Parker's face appeared. Representatives of the Galactic Council. I'm Admiral Gregory Park, from Earth. For months, you have pressured our world to accept your so-called protection. Today, we give you our real answer. The screen split to show images of human ships in the Council's main facilities. As you can see, we neutralized their military capability without taking a single life. Our ships are now positioned throughout your territory. We could have chosen destruction, as you did when you attacked our Neptune station. Instead, we choose precision. In the ceremony hall, Drogax advanced towards Allison. Crushing human. An energy beam from her device froze him in place. I wouldn't do that, she said calmly. On screen, Parker continued. Earth now presents its terms. First, the immediate recognition of human sovereignty and our right to expand beyond our solar system. Secondly, reparations for the unprovoked attack on our outposts. Third, freedom for all species currently under its protection. The council representatives looked stunned. Zixter found her voice. This is unprecedented. The council has existed for 12,000 years. You just can't. We already have. Allison interrupted. Its armed forces are neutralized. Your communications are under our control. The choice is now simple. Trade with us as equals or face the consequences. Across the galaxy, the Vraxian fleet attempted to mount a counterattack against Earth. 3 huge warships approached Mars. Weapons load. General Olivia Grant watched them from her command center. Activate defense shields. When the Vraxian ships fired, their energy weapons struck the new human shields. Instead of causing damage, the energy was absorbed, redirected, and sent back to the attackers. The Vraxian ship's own power was used against them, disabling their engines and weapons. At Jupiter Station, the council representatives watched this display in stunned silence. As you can see, Allison said, fighting is useless. So should we start the real negotiations? This time as equals. 3 days after Operation Sunrise, the Galactic Council formally surrendered to humanity's demands. The Great Chamber that had once been prepared for the submission of the Earth now hosted a very different ceremony. Ambassador Zixter, speaking on behalf of the Council, signed the new agreement with trembling tentacles. The Council recognizes Earth as a sovereign power with all rights to explore and colonize space without restriction. Dr. Allison Wright signed for Earth, her face solemn despite the victory. This marks the beginning of a new relationship between our people, based on mutual respect and not domination. Not all council members accepted defeat gracefully. Drokax and several other Vraxian representatives had already flooded distant systems, vowing revenge. But without his military might, his threats seemed hollow. Captain Sam Martinez led a fleet to worlds previously under the Council's protection. The ISV Defiance, now accompanied by 3 other ships, approached the planet Neova, home to a species that had been contained for centuries. We are receiving a transmission from the surface, reported Lieutenant Amy Scott. A being with 4 arms and iridescent skin appears on the screen. Unidentified vessels, please indicate your intentions. We are under the protection of the Council. I'm Captain Martinez from Earth, Sam replied. We came to inform you that the protection agreement has ended. Your world is free to develop as you choose. The being's big eyes blinked rapidly. Is this some kind of test? The Council would never allow that. The Council no longer dictates terms to anyone, Sam explained. We can offer you the full record of recent events if you wish to see for yourself. As realization dawned, celebrations erupted across Neova and on 2 other previously protected worlds. Species that had been trapped in their systems of origin for generations suddenly saw a future of possibilities. Back on Earth, Admiral Parker and Dr. Mitchell received the highest honors in a ceremony at the United Nations. Their vision and innovation saved humanity from becoming just another client state, said President Howard as he presented the medals. Parker shook his head. We were just doing our duty, Mr. President, and we could not have succeeded without Dr. Wright's diplomatic skills or Captain Martinez's tactical experience. In the audience, Major Kelly sat silently. Few people would know how his intelligence work revealed the Council's true plans. He preferred it that way. On Mars, General Olivia Grant oversaw the transformation of the Reserve Command Center into Earth's new Galactic Affairs headquarters. From this installation, humanity would manage its growing presence among the stars. We are receiving requests from 15 previously confined species for technological assistance and commercial agreements. Ben Cooper reported. Olivia smiled, soothed them all. We will not be like the Council. We will help them to stand on their own. A month after the confrontation, representatives from Earth and many other species gathered at the former Council Station, now renamed Unity Station. Dr. Wright led the drafting of a new galactic chart. The first principle of this letter is that all intelligent species have the right to determine their own destiny. She explained to the gathered delegates that no race can impose limits on the development or expansion of another, as long as they respect the same rights as others. The new charter took 3 days to negotiate, with passionate debates on all sides. But contrary to the old Council's rules, All voices were heard equally. When it was completed, Dr. Wright sent the document to Admiral Parker. He read it in his office beneath the Rocky Mountains, nodding his head in approval. On his desk was a prototype of a new dark energy engine, smaller and more efficient than the first generation. Alongside it were plans for exploration ships that would take humanity far beyond the borders of former Council space. Outside his window, engineers were already dismantling the weapons factory. Dark energy technology would now serve a different purpose, to build rather than threaten. Was it worth it? Dr. Mitchell asked, entering his office. Parker looked at the star map on his wall, which now showed hundreds of new worlds open for peaceful contact. Ask me again in 100 years, he said, when our great-grandchildren are exploring stars we haven't even named yet.